Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, continuing with the Quran Interpreted, a translation by A.J. Arberry. The poets. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. Qasim. Those are the signs of the manifest book. Perchance thou consumest thyself, that they are not believers. If we will, we shall send down on them out of heaven a sign, so that their necks will stay humbled to it, but never fresh remembrance comes to them from the All-Merciful, except they turn away from it. So they have cried lies. Therefore assuredly tidings will come to them of that they mocked at. What have they not regarded the earth? How many therein we have caused to grow, of every generous kind. Surely in that is a sign, yet most of them are not believers. Surely thy Lord, he is the Almighty, the All-Compassionate. And when thy Lord called to Moses, go to the people of the evildoers, the people of Pharaoh, will they not be God-fearing? He said, my Lord, I fear they will cry me lies, and my breast will be straitened, and my tongue will not be loosed. So send to Aaron, they also have a sin against me, and I fear they will slay me. Said he, no indeed, but go both of you with our signs, and we assuredly shall be with you, listening. So go to Pharaoh and say, verily, I am the messenger of the Lord of all being. So send forth with us the children of Israel. He said, did we not raise thee amongst us as a child? Didst thou not tarry among us years of thy life? And thou didst the deed that thou didst, being one of the ungrateful. Said he, indeed I did it then, being one of those that stray. So I fled from you, fearing you, but my Lord gave me judgment, and made me one of the envoys. And that is a blessing thou reproachest me with, having enslaved the children of Israel. Pharaoh said, and what is the Lord of all being? He said, the Lord of the heavens and earth, and what is between them? If you have faith, said he to those about him, do you not hear? He said, your Lord, and the Lord of your fathers, the ancients. Said he, surely your messenger who was sent to you is possessed. He said, the Lord of the east and west, and what is between them is, if you have understanding. Said he, if thou takest to God. Said he, if thou takest a god other than me, I shall surely make thee one of the imprisoned. He said, what? Even though I brought thee something He said, what? Even though I brought thee something manifest? Said he, bring it then, if thou art of the truthful. So he cast his staff, and behold, it was a serpent manifest. And he drew forth his hand, and lo, it was white to the beholders. Said he to the council about him, surely this man is a cunning sorcerer, who desires to expel you from your land by his sorcery. What do you command? They said, put him and his brother off a while, and send among the cities musterers to bring thee every cunning sorcerer. So the sorcerers were assembled for the appointed time of the fixed day. The people were asked, will you assemble? Happily we shall follow the sorcerers, if it should be they are the victors. Then when the sorcerers came, they said to Pharaoh, Shall we indeed have a wage if we should be the victors? He said, Yes, indeed, and you shall then be among the near stationed. Moses said to them, Cast you down what you will cast. So they cast their ropes and their staffs, and said, By the might of Pharaoh, we shall be the victors. Then Moses cast his staff, and lo, it forthwith swallowed up their lying invention. So the sorcerers were cast down, bowing themselves. So there's trickery associated in the word sihr. There's also the playing with the fire, the jinn thing implied. Most implied in the ancient Egyptian, but because the har is the heat, the flame. And Arabic, of course, has a lot of roots from the ancient Egyptian. They said, We believe in the Lord of all being, the Lord of Moses and Aaron. Said Pharaoh, You have believed in him before I gave you leave. Why, he is the chief of you, the same that taught you sorcery. Now you shall know. I shall assuredly cut off alternatively your hands and feet. Then I shall crucify you altogether. They said, There is no harm. Surely unto our Lord we are turning. We are eager that our Lord should forgive us our offenses, for that we are the first of the believers. Also we revealed unto Moses, Go with my servants by night, surely you will be followed. Then Pharaoh sent among the cities musterers. Behold, these are a small troop, and indeed they are enraging us, and we are a host on our guard. So we expelled them from gardens and fountains and treasures and a noble station. Even so, and we bequeathed them upon the children of Israel. Then they followed them at the sunrise. And when the two hosts sighted each other, the companions of Moses said, We are overtaken. Said he, No, indeed, surely my Lord is with me, he will guide me. Then we revealed to Moses, Strike with thy staff the sea, and it clave, and each part was as a mighty mount. And there we brought the others on, and we delivered Moses and those with him all together. Then we drowned the others, surely, and that is a sign, yet most of them are not believers. Surely thy Lord, he is the Almighty, the all-compassionate. And recite to them the tidings of Abraham when he said to his father and his people, What do you serve? They said, We serve idols and continue cleaving to them. He said, Do they hear you when you call, or do they profit you or harm? They said, Nay, but we found our fathers so doing. He said, And have you considered what you have been serving, you and your fathers and the elders? They are an enemy to me, except the Lord of all being, who created me, and himself guides me, and himself gives me to eat and drink, and whenever I am sick heals me, and who makes me to die, then gives me life, and who I am meager shall forgive me my offense on the day of doom. My Lord, give me judgment, and join me with the righteous, and appoint me a tongue of truthfulness among the others. Just like Surah 20, there's prayers all over that one could learn. And Sa'ad wal Qur'ani dhikr, the best of remembrance. So, yeah, there's good in learning other stuff, but this is supposed to be the best stuff. Make me one of the inheritors of the garden of bliss, and forgive my father, for he is one of those that is. And forgive my father, for he is one of those astray. Degrade me not upon the day when they are raised up, the day which neither wealth nor son shall profit, except for him who comes to God with a pure heart, and paradise shall be brought forward for the God-fearing, and hell advance for the perverse. It shall be said to them, where is that you were serving apart from God? Do they help you or help themselves? And they shall be pitched into it, and they and the perverse and the host of Iblis all together. Iblis, a shaitan, Satan, the Satan. They shall say as they dispute there one with another. They shall say as they dispute there one with another, by God, we were certainly in manifest error. When we made you equal with the Lord of all being, it was not but the sinners that led us astray. So now we have no intercessors, no loyal friend. Oh, that we might return again and be among the believers. Surely, and that is a sign, yet most of them are not believers. Surely thy Lord, he is the Almighty, the All-Compassionate. And how is that fair? People live on what's right, in belief and practice and experience, versus those who aren't. Somehow doing better because they have intercessors that are, because they take to spiritual intercessory like that? No. We can pray for people, but only when it's aligned for God. With, And certainly every prophet would have prayed, my nation that accepts. So it's, it's already taken care of it. It's not that you say benedictions, and each one counts, so more, but it doesn't count in the way that on the day of judgment, God's going to say to the prophets, such and such in your nation said this, so do this. And that happens billions of times or something for some of the prophets. That's just doesn't make sense. Surely, and that is a sign, yet most of them are not believers. Surely thy Lord, he is the Almighty, the All-Compassionate. And the people of Noah cried lies to the envoys, when their brother Noah said to them, will you not be God-fearing? I am for you a faithful messenger. So serve you God and obey me. I ask of you no wage for this. My wage falls only upon the Lord of all beings, so fear you God and obey me. And they said, shall we believe thee, whom the vilest follow? He said, what knowledge have I of that they have been doing? And their account falls only upon my Lord. Were you but aware, I would not drive away the believers. I am not but a plain warner. And they said, if thou givest not over Noah, thou shalt assuredly be one of the stoned. He said, my Lord, my people have cried me lies, so give true deliverance between me and them, and deliver me and the believers that are with me. So we delivered him and those with him in the laden ship, then afterwards we drowned the rest. Surely, and that is a sign, yet most of them are not believers. Surely thy Lord, he is the Almighty, the All-Compassionate. Odd cried lies to the envoys, when their brotherhood said to them, will you not be God-fearing? I am for you a faithful messenger, so fear you God and obey me. I asked of you no wage for this. My wage falls only upon the Lord of all being. I am for you a faithful messenger, so fear you God and obey me. I ask of you no wage for this. My wage falls only upon the Lord of all being. That being repeated 5 times can kind of hint you at the 5 duties of Islam in the creed, for one. And then you have the prayer, the ritual prayer, the obliged alms, fasting, and the pilgrimage, according to one's means, of course. What do you build on every prominence a sign sporting? And do you take to you castles happily to dwell forever? When you assault like tyrants. So fear you God and obey you me, and fear him who has succored you with what you know. Succored you with flocks and sons, gardens and fountains. Indeed, I fear for you the chastisement of a dreadful day. And they said alike, is it to us whether thou admonishest, or art not one of the admonishers? And this is nothing but the habit of the ancients, and we shall not be chastised. So they cried him lies. Then we destroyed them, surely, and that is a sign. Yet most of them are not believers. Surely thy Lord, he is the Almighty, the All-Compassionate. Thamud cried lies to the envoys with their brother Saleh. Said to them, will you not be God-fearing? I am for you a faithful messenger, so fear you God and obey you me. I ask of you no wage for this. My wage falls only upon the Lord of all being. Will you be left secure in this here among gardens and fountains, sown fields and palms with slender spathes? Will you still skillfully hew houses out of the mountains? So fear you God and obey me, and obey not the commandment of the prodigal, who do corruption in the earth and set not things right. Nowadays, it's the popular culture that has its own commandment. It's like, it's not even a law. You don't have to do that. It's the way of our society. You do corruption in the earth and set not things right. And that's the thing, these social justice warriors, as they are called, derogative, and people are actually calling themselves social justice warriors. You're not setting anything right. I mean, maybe some of them do, but typically you're not seeing that. They said, thou art merely one of those that are bewitched. Thou art not but a mortal like Thou art not but a mortal like us, then produce a sign if thou art one of the truthful. He said, this is a she-camel, to her a draught, and to you a draught, on a day appointed, and do not touch her with malice, so that there sees you the chastisement of a dreadful day. But they hamstrung her, and in the morning they were remorseful, and the chastisement seized them. Surely, and that is a sign, yet most of them are not believers. Surely thy Lord, he is the Almighty, the All-Compassionate. The people of Lot cried lies to the envoys when their brother Lot said to them, will you not be God-fearing? I am for you a faithful messenger, so fear you God and obey me. I ask of you no wage for this. My wage falls only upon the Lord of all being. What do you come to male beings, leaving your wives that your Lord created for you? Nay, but you are a people of transgressors. And they said, if thou givest not over Lot, thou shalt surely be one of the expelled. He said, truly I am a detester of what you do. My Lord, deliver me and my people from that they do. So we delivered him and his people altogether, save an old woman among those that tarried. Then we destroyed the others, and we rained on them a rain, and evil is the rain of them that are warned, and bad is the rain. There's this area, the Black Sea, where houses are overturned, and there's little things of sulfur, little balls of sulfur around them. I guess chunks too, but so people try to force people into things. It's one thing when they're doing something wrong by themselves, but when they're trying to force people into it, yeah, that's really the issue here. Well, there's other issues, but that is the top issue. Surely, and that is a sign, yet most of them are not believers. Surely thy Lord, he is the Almighty, the All-Compassionate. The men of the thicket cried lies to the envoys, when Shuaib said to them, Will you not be God-fearing? I am for you a faithful messenger, so fear you God and obey me. I ask of you no wage for this. My wage falls only upon the Lord of all being. Fill up the measure, and be not cheaters, and weigh with a straight balance, and diminish not the goods of the people, and do not mischief in the earth, working corruption. Fear him who created you, and the generations of the ancients. They said, Thou art merely one of those that are bewitched. Thou art not but a mortal like us. Indeed, we think that thou art one of the liars. Then drop down on us lumps from heaven if thou art one of the truthful. He said, My Lord knows very well what you are doing. But they cried in lies, and then there seized them the chastisement of the day of shadow. Surely it was the chastisement of a dreadful day. Surely, and that is a sign, yet most of them are not believers. Surely thy Lord, he is the Almighty, the All-Compassionate. Truly it is the revelation of the Lord of all being, brought down by the faithful Spirit upon thy heart, that thou mayest be one of the warners in a clear Arabic tongue. Truly it is in the scriptures of the ancients. Every prophet came with his own language in a clear, not poetry in the Arabic sense. No extra sounds. Everything has the meaning and purpose. It's not about style. Although that's the style of the original is just people who don't believe in it, people who don't know what it means are still moved by it. Truly it is in the scripture of the ancients. Was it not a sign for them that is known to the learned of the children of Israel, if we had sent it down upon a barbarian, and he had recited it to them, they would have not believed in it. Even so we have caused it to enter into the hearts of the sinners, who will not believe in it until they see the painful chastisement, so that it will come upon them suddenly, while they are not aware, and they will say, Shall we be respited? What do they seek to hasten our chastisement? What thinkest thou, if we give them enjoyment of days for many years, then there comes on them that they were promised? What will it then avail them, the enjoyment of days they were given? Never city we destroyed, but it had warners for a reminder, and never did we wrong. Not by the Satans has it been brought down, it behooves them not, neither are they able. Truly they are expelled from hearing. So there's a limit to what they could hear in the first place, but something that condemns all evil in the broad and the specific form, and repeatedly, explicitly, can be used for exorcism, calling on God to seek refuge from having that spiritual problem to begin with. Why would a devil do that? How was the Catholic Church doctrine during the Crusades right there that only a devil could produce this? Well, So call thou not upon another God with God, lest thou shouldest be one of those that are chastised, and warn thy clan, thy nearest kin. Lower thy wing to those who follow thee, being believers. Then if they disobey thee, say, I am quit of that you do. Put thy trust in the Almighty, the All-Compassionate, who sees thee when thou standest, and when thou turnest about among those who bow. Surely he is the all-hearing, the all-knowing. Shall I tell you on whom the Satans come down? They come down on every guilty impostor. They give ear, but most of them are liars. And the poets, the perverse follow them. Hast thou not seen how they wander in every valley, and how they say that which they do not, save those that believe and do righteous deeds, and remember God oft, and help themselves after being wronged? And those who do wrong shall surely know by what overturning they will be overturned. So, if your poetry isn't about being an imposter, If it's not hypocritical, you're actually trying to do these things, and you're, trying to do good and stuff beside, and you're not trying to claim, my poetry is the guidance, or that it's not a diversion. Why not? Islam has a neutral stance when it comes to the poets and poetry.